And what we do here in these classes is we teach the truth of the Bible, that so-called black, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Indians are the true Israelites, the true Jews, the chosen people of God. And that's what we prove in these classes every day. You understand? And we have classes. We're here today. I'm Officer Yanazar, Officer 500 Yanazar, here with Officer 500 Mahayar. Thought, sir. And tonight is the Wednesday night law class. You understand? So we teach tonight. We're going to teach scriptures pertaining to the law, as well as get into a topic that is also pertaining to the law and the ramifications of what happens when the law is not followed. You understand? When the law is discarded, you understand what happens. Okay, so like I said before, this is the Wednesday night law class. So what we're going to do, we're going to get right into these law scriptures in just a moment. And so, because it's so much going on in the earth, let me just, Matthew's 24:7. I'm going to start with that. You got it? Okay, we're going to look into, because, we are living in the last days, you understand? And then how do we know it's the last days? You understand what I'm saying? Because the Most High made the information available to us through the scriptures, through the Bible. You understand? So we are able to discern the signs of the time. You understand? Because it's right here before our faces. You understand? And all we have to do is read and understand and be taught. Yeah, 24:7, Baba Kashar.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
Nation against nation. You see that all over the earth today. You know what that is. Read on.
And kingdom against kingdom.
Same thing. Kingdom against kingdom. Nation against nation is like ethnic groups against ethnic groups. Because nation in the Bible is your nationality or your race. You understand? So that's nation against nation, ethnic group against ethnic group. Read on.
And there shall be famines.
There shall be famine. Now, if you don't know by now, all over the earth, there's been a heat wave, and the water is acting strangely. The rain, the pattern of the weather patterns have changed, and rain is coming down hard in some places. In some places, it's not getting any rain at all. And places in America, like in the West Coast, where we get a good percentage of our food, is they having severe drought out there. And this is going to, at some point, contribute to a decrease in the amount of food available. Thus, a famine is in the forecast. You understand? So this is what the scriptures is relating to us, and for us to be able to understand what's going on. Read on, my brother Baba Kashar.
And pestilences.
Now, pestilence are like viruses, insects, things like that. You understand? And there's a lot of that going on in the world today too. Like in certain parts of Africa and certain parts of the Middle East, they're having problems with bugs. And even in America, there's invasion of like foreign species of insects that are destroying crops and destroying trees, because this environment wasn't prepared to defend itself against these foreign insects. So that's just some of the things that we can point out to you as being, pestilence. Okay. Read on.
And earthquakes.
Now, this is the one I wanted to get to, because when I saw earthquakes, I said, let me look up recent earthquakes. So all you got to do is Google recent earthquakes. And I was shocked at what I found. Within the last week, just the last week, from July 2nd from August 2nd back to July 28th, there was 9 earthquakes on the earth. It was one of magnitude 6.1 in Chile on July 28th. On August 2nd, in Fiji, there was a magnitude 5.6. On August 2nd, again, the same day, I think it was 20 off of Japan. It was 2 different parts of Japan, one on August the 2nd and one on July 31st. One was a 5.4 and another one was a 5.6 on July 31st. Then on July and August the 2nd. Now, here we are, August the 2nd again, 3 different earthquakes on August the 2nd, the same day, different parts of the world. Fiji, a magnitude 5.5, 27 miles off the Philippine Islands. Then on July 31st in Iceland, a magnitude 5.4. Then on July 29th in Russia and in Mongolia, there was 2 separate earthquakes. So in 1 week, there was 9 earthquakes on the earth in 1 week. Now, you don't hear about this on the news, right, because they don't want you to understand or to know this. But we in the Isupk, because of the Most High in Christ and Commanding General Yohana and the generals and the captains and the officers above us, we learn how to discern these things. You understand what I'm saying? So we learn that if it says earthquakes in diverse places, which it does say, it means earthquake in different places. Now, in my entire life, I've never heard of this many earthquakes in 1 week. Never. And all you got to do, if you don't believe what I'm saying, just Google recent earthquakes, and all of them is going to come up. And all of them is from July 28th up until August the 2nd. There was 9 earthquakes on the earth, both in the eastern and western hemispheres. You understand? In the northern part of the earth, Mongolia and Russia. The southern part of the earth, Fiji. The Philippine Islands, Japan, on 2 parts, 2 different earthquakes in 2 different parts of Japan. So these are the signs that we're in the last days. This is what I'm trying to get at, and this is what we're trying to relate to our people, that we're able to discern the signs of the time because we know what's going to go down and what's about to happen. You understand? And we are in the truth, and we're able to relate these things to you so that our sisters, brothers and sisters could be informed as to what time it is. Man, it's getting late, man, on the clock. And our people have to wake up. It's high time that we wake up. Is that it on that, sir? So that was Matthew 24:7, talking about the signs of the last days.
Right.
And we just demonstrated to you. Everybody knows the condition on the earth. Warfare, wars and rumors of war. Everybody knows that. Pestilence. You understand? And plagues and diseases as well. Well, we're going to get in that in a minute, but we're going to go into some law scriptures and break those down for you, because there is nothing more important to Israel. You understand? The 2 most important things to Israel is brotherhood and the law. You understand? Obeying God, following Christ, the law. You understand what I'm saying? And brotherhood. These are the things that make us who we are. You understand? And they all come under 2 commandments. You understand? Okay. If you could give me Psalm 19:7. This is the Wednesday night law class, and the law is the foundation of everything that we do on the earth. You understand? This is our government, our guidance, our means of subsistence, our dietary law, our conduct, how we treat each other and how we treat the nations. Everything comes under the law. Everything that we do comes under the law. You understand?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
The law of the Lord is perfect, meaning there's no flaws. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no errors, none of that. You understand? The law of the Lord is perfect. Read it from the top one more time.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
Converting the soul. What does that mean? To convert is to change. It changes your soul. It changes who you are as a human being, as a person. That's what it does. And everybody, every brother and every sister in the Isupk can attest to that truth. You understand? Read on. Okay, hold on just a second. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Making simple people or people that might not be educated or aware of what's going on, they become wise because they begin to obey God. As we know, the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. So our people become, shalom, sir. So our people become wise because we began to obey God and follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. So it gives you a certain amount of wisdom within itself. You understand? So this is how important this law is to us. You understand? It takes people, like a lot of people in the Isupk, a lot of the brothers, we come from some different backgrounds, and some of our backgrounds are not so good when we were in the world. You understand what I'm saying? But you come in here and you see some of these brothers, even younger brothers, half my age and younger, who are wise beyond their years because they do follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. And if it wasn't for these laws, statutes, and commandments, they'd be the average kid out in the street. They would be just another brother in the street. Hey, shalom, have a seat there, brother. You know, but because we have this law, we're able to convert brothers into wise men, converting the soul, changing the very soul of people. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. That's it on that one. Of the brother's kind of busy here. My reader's kind of busy, so I'm going to read myself for a second. We're going to go to. You got a Bible, brother? Want one? You can take that one right there. Kind of call. Bob Kashab, brother. Give me second Ezra. Yeah. Come. Give me second Ezra 9:30 through 33. We're talking about the law here. You understand? The law that was given to the children of Israel exclusively. You understand? This law was given only to the children of Israel, and that's easily proven with the scriptures, but we're not going to sidestep to that right now. We're just going to deal with the law itself and how important and essential it is for us to be successful in life, in this life, which is really hell for our people. This ain't really life. You understand? This is a form of life that we're living right now. We're living under oppression. You understand? We're living in hell for our people, watching our people destroy each other every damn day. It's not a day go by in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community where we don't see our people destroying one another. Whether it's through violence, drugs, I don't care, whatever it is, and even through spiritual venues like the Christian church, where people are destroyed to the point where it's very sad how the Christian church destroys our people. You got that, sir? I need verses, chapter 9, verses 30. We're going to start at 30. We're going to read through 33.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 30. And thou speakest, saying, hear me, O Israel.
Hear me, O Israel. See, this is what I always say, and I'm going to say it, until I can't say it no more, is that all of these books, every book in the Bible is addressed and written to, for, and about Israelites, period. And we can prove that without any problem. You understand? O Israel. So this is talking to the children of Israel, the Israelites, so-called Black, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians. Boy, we mighty busy today. Baba Kashar, that's Most High Christ. So, everything to what? Oh, okay. So, read on from there, sir.
And mark my words.
And mark his word. What does it mean to mark something? It means to take heed, take note, remember, pay attention, mark it. You understand? Understand it, accept it. All of these things. That's what it means to mark his words. Pay attention and accept it as the truth. Read on.
Thou seed of Jacob.
Thou seed of Jacob. The Israelites. That's the seed of Jacob. That's the only seed of Jacob, is the 12 tribes of Israel. That's it. Read on.
Verse 31. For behold, I sow my law in you.
He sowed his law into you. So let's explain that. Let's break that down. To sow is to plant. You understand? To sow. So he planted his law in us. He gave us the law. He gave us the understanding of his law. He blessed us with his law, the Israelites, because that's what we're talking about and talking to here. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Israelites. You understand? Read on.
And it shall bring fruit in you.
It shall, despite all of the madness that's going on. When I love when the Most High says it shall, because you know what that means? Exactly what it says. It's going to happen. Despite the condition that we're in right now, which is a hellish condition for the overwhelming majority of our people, even those that have money. But it shall bear fruit in thee. Read on.
Salaki, and ye shall be honored in it forever.
And ye shall be honored in it forever. This is why the Isupk exists, man.
That's right.
To bring our people into this truth, you understand, so that they could be, in this with us together, unite together and be honored in this truth, and the truth that the Most High gave to the Israelites, the truth that benefits us, that gives us the way of life that's superior to any other nation on the earth. You understand? Because of this law and what the Most High has given us. This makes us above all the nations of the earth. You understand? This gives us the wisdom, you understand, to live righteously according to our nature. Read on.
Verse 33. Yet they that received it perished.
Yet they that received it. Who received it? Anybody know? Who received the law? The Israelites. If you could always raise your hand. You can participate. If you got any questions, you can ask. Understand?
Yeah, right.
So the Israelites are the only people that received the law, and we were destroyed because, read on, we were destroyed. He gave us this law. He planted it in us now, but we rejected it.
Because they kept not the thing that was sown in them.
The thing that was given to us, the thing that was good for us. So like when you plant crops in the earth, the thing that grows from the earth is the benefit of the sowing, of the planting. You understand? But we didn't allow ourselves, for the most part, the benefit of what God sowed in us. You understand? We didn't grow as a plant when God planted that seed in us the way we were supposed to, thus the condition we're in right now. Read on. Okay, so let's go to this. This is the basis of everything. That verses, those three verses right there basically is a summation of what went down. God gave us the law. He told us to obey him and do his law, and we didn't. And he put the greatest people that ever walked the face of the earth on the bottom of every nation where they dwell. Right. Every nation where we dwell, we're on the bottom, and we're at the top of every major disease category. And the monkeypox is hitting us hard now. Yeah. I'm going to get into that monkeypox in a minute. Let's have Deuteronomy 27:1. All of because the topic tonight is about plagues and diseases on the earth. The topic tonight, what we're going to go into in a few, is called the Most High's plagues / diseases upon the earth. And then we're going to give you scriptural evidence of everything that we talk about, because that's what we do in the Isupk. Everything that we say, we have to be able to prove it and show that it's true in the scriptures. You understand? So when I show you about the earthquakes, I read it to you in the scriptures first, and then I showed you that in just 1 week, 9 earthquakes on 9 different parts of the earth has occurred. Now, to me, that's an eye-opener. But I didn't hear it. I heard about one of them, the one in Japan I heard about. The rest of them, I didn't hear nothing about them. Okay, so you got that? When you're ready, sir.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27 and verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel.
Now here's Moses. Everybody know who Moses is, right? Moses is the lawgiver and the leader of Israel at this particular point in our history. Moses is the one that God gave the commandments to. And the elders, meaning that Moses together with the elders, because this is how our culture works. It ain't young cats making decisions. It was the elders who had the experience and the wisdom of experience that were counseled with to make decisions, you understand, and to give proper information to Israel. And that's how it's going to be from this time forward. Read on.
Commanded the people.
They commanded the people. They didn't ask, hey, listen, could you do this for us?
Right.
They gave a lawful order, a commandment. They commanded the people. Read on.
Saying, keep all the commandments.
Keep all. How do you spell oil? All.
A-L-L.
A-L-L. All the commandments, not just 10.
Right.
All the commandments. You understand? I was listening to one of these tapes with Captain Tazarak. He was battling this Christian pastor. And this Christian pastor had the nerve to get up there and lie and say that the Christian church follows the law, statutes, and commandments. I almost fell out the chair. For him to say that, and we know exactly that what the Christian church does pertaining to the law. The law is done away with. We only have to obey the Big Ten. You don't even have to obey the Big Ten no more. One pastor said that. Creflo Dollar said that. You don't even have to obey the Big Ten. I think it was him. But anyway, let's go on. Read on.
Mm-hmm. Which I command you this day. Verse 2. And it shall be on the day when ye shall pass over Jordan unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, that thou shalt set thee up great stones and plaster them with plaster. Verse 3. And thou shalt write upon them all the words of this law.
See that? See, like the Most High gave us this law. It wasn't no joke. Like this was our government. This is how we were supposed to act and conduct ourselves within each other and towards the other nations, according to this law. And that we were supposed to, when we set up our kingdom, we were supposed to, like, we see how we got these writings on the wall. We're supposed to write this law on the wall so that when our children grow up, they would learn it. Everybody would learn the law because it was that important to the Most High for us to have that law. That's how important it is. That's it on that, Baba Kasha. We're going to go to, let's go to, is it anything more pertinent to that?
A lot.
Okay, let's get Deuteronomy 30. We're going to do 15 and verses 15 and verse 19. We're talking about the law here. The law is the essence of what makes us a holy people. Holy just means set apart, separate. That's all it means. In righteousness, though. In righteousness. Set apart in righteousness. That's basically what holy means. To be separate from what the other heathen, other nations. Heathen just means the other nations. That's all it means. That's not Israel.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day.
I have set before thee this day. He's telling you that he's giving you a choice. He set before you. Like I'm sitting here and before me is a bottle of water and some fruit juice. And then I have a choice. Should I drink the fruit juice or the water? That's a choice. He set it before thee. Read on.
Life and good.
Life and good. So that thing that he set before thee is life and it's good for you. Life and good. Read on.
And death and evil.
And death and evil. And the other thing, the other choice that you make is evil and it's going to cause you to die.
All right.
He set it before you. You understand? And you have a choice at this particular point. Oh, Israel. You understand? Read on.
Verse 16. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God.
The first choice was to love God. Because if you love God, for we know that The love of God is to keep his commandments. That's how you love God, is to obey him. You understand? So that would have been the first choice, was to love God and thus obey him. You understand? That was the choice that we had. Read on.
To walk in his ways.
To walk in his ways. What is the Most High's ways? Righteousness, man. Right. Nobody is treated unjustly, man. To treat people with dignity and respect and with justice. You understand? And if they need judgment, they get judgment no matter what their position is. No respect of person, because this guy got money and prestige. He is not above the law. Matter of fact, in our culture, the people that were responsible and have positions of power were held into account more so than the little man. And I'll give you a perfect example. I'll never forget it. It was Aaron's two sons. The Most High told Aaron's two sons to burn a particular fire for him. And they burnt a different fire, a strange fire it's called, and the Most High burnt them up right in the temple and told Aaron that he couldn't even mourn for them because they were in a position of power. They were dealing directly with the Most High in the procedures of the priesthood, and they couldn't obey it. You understand? A little thing like burning the fire. And here we only burn one fire. And we know what that is. And nothing else is getting burned in here at all. We burn the fire that the Most High say burn. You understand? So, read on, brother. You have to walk in his ways, man, in obedience. Read on.
And to keep his commandments.
And to keep his commandments. That's what it's all about. To keep his commandments. Now, jump down to verse 19.
Verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you.
So what he's saying, he's calling everything that exists, heaven and earth, to bear witness against you, that everything in creation knows that he told you this. You understand? He told you what it is. Read on.
That I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing.
Blessing and cursing. You understand? Blessing and cursing, man. You could get blessings or you're going to get these curses. We chose the curses, of course, because that's what we're under. You understand? We're under the curses that the Most High put upon us because of our disobedience. But the good news is that we're at the end of the curses, meaning when I say that, what that means is that all of the curses have either happened already or are happening now. There's none that's going to happen that's new. Right. You understand? We passed most of them, but some of them still exist and are still occurring amongst our people unto this day. And you can find all of them in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verses 15 through 68, including going into slavery on cargo slave ships. That's what it is. Now, this is basic. That's it on that? Yeah. So basically what this is this. Read on.
Therefore, choose life.
Therefore, choose life. It's about a choice, man. When you come into these classes, right, it's about a choice, man. Are you willing to put in the work for the Most High? Are you willing to stand up for the Most High? He really doesn't really need you at all, but he wanted to see who's going to stand up for you. He asked that question in the scriptures. Who's going to stand up for me? It's not that he needs you. It's just he wants to see who's going to believe in what he says and do what he says and stand up for him and teach the truth to his people, man. And then you know who answered the call? The Isupk and the Commander General Yohana. Commander General Yohana, I mean, I wish everybody knew his story. Stood up for his people against tremendous odds. I always say it, Commander General Yohana's story is biblical. You understand? He stood up for the people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and built this school. You understand? That has been in existence since 1969. You understand? So you have a choice to make. Are you going to stand up or are you going to sit back and just let it happen? You understand? Faith without works is dead, man. If you don't stand up and do something, man, it ain't no use, man. You just wasting your life. I hate to cut it like that, but that's the realness of it. If you're not going to stand up for the Lord, then your actions are against him. That's why he said you have a clear choice, life or death, good or evil. That's it. Evil is disobedience. Good is obedience. Simple. We simplify this to the best of our ability because, it's easy to understand that way, So now, that's it on that, sir?
That both thou and thy seed may live.
Both thou and thy seed, meaning the people after you, the generations after you, your children and their children and their children. You understand that we can survive and make a go at it according to what the Most High said, to be under his law. And I'm going to tell y'all something, man. A lot of people, before I came to this truth, I used to think the same thing because I was raised up under the Christian church. We thought that we couldn't do God's law, that it was too difficult. It was hard. Let me have, I got the scriptural answer to that. Give me 1 John 5:3. We thought that, the Christian church teacher, nobody could do God's law. Nobody, it's too hard. Or nobody could be perfect, they say. To be perfect means just not to break God's law. That's all it means. Right. So there has been brothers that were perfect. None on the level of Christ, but there have been brothers that have been perfect throughout this Bible. You got that?
Yeah. This is the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
This is how you love God. This is how you prove that you love God. Everybody, every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that I know will tell you to your face that they love God. But this is how you prove that you love God every day, by keeping his commandments. And read that last part.
So it's like it. And his commandments are not grievous.
His commandments are not grievous, man. Meaning that they're not hard. They're not detrimental to your life. They're good for you. And we discover this when we come into the Isupk, man. Right. It ain't that hard, man. And I tell you one thing, though, about it, though. We have a great advantage in keeping the law because we have a great leader, a righteous leader, and we have generals and captains and officers above us. And the most important thing is that we have brotherhood. So these things, the water, sir, these things keep us together and keep us obeying the law. That's why Christ said, when they asked him what were the two, greatest commandments, and he says to love God with all your heart and all your might and all your soul. And the second one, which is just like it, which is to love your brother as yourself, your neighbor as yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Now, that is a concept that is far from true in the earth. Like that concept only exists in the Isupk under Commander General Yohana. You understand? Where brothers are really willing to sacrifice themselves for their brother. Not for some gain or anything like that, but just because of the brotherhood. And I'm going to tell you, man, like I didn't know what brotherhood was till I came in here. That's the honest to God. That's the truth. You understand? So, with that being said, the law is the foundation of everything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the topic. You understand? And the topic is the Most High's plagues / diseases upon the earth. Now, today, we know that the most prominent disease spoken of today in America is monkeypox, right? But first of all, before we go any further, I'm going to give you the definition of plague and of disease before we go any further, so that we could know exactly, when we read these scriptures, we'll know exactly what we're talking about, and that these things do come under the definition of what these things are, okay? So plagues, an epidemic disease causing a high rate of mortality to smite, infest, or afflict with, or as if the disease, or as if with disease, calamity, or natural evil. You understand? So remember that word calamity. A calamity is a plague as well. You understand? And natural evil is things that occur through nature.
Right.
You understand? Like viruses, which cause diseases. You understand? That's a plague. And it's with plague, there's death with it. The plague of AIDS was another plague. You understand? These are the things that the Most High sends on the earth. And even though some of these things are caused by the actions of men, it's not like God says magically send AIDS. It's something that man does on the earth that brings AIDS. It's something that man does against God that causes monkeypox. He doesn't just conjure up a plague and send it on you like that. In most cases, he uses nature, man, against you. You understand? That's how he is. And this is the God that we worship. This is the God that we follow and love, okay? Now, disease. This is a definition of disease. A condition of the living animal or plant, body, or of its parts that impairs normal functioning. So if you have a disease, that means some of your body parts are not functioning normal, whether it's your eyes, your toes, whatever. Your hands, is a disease. Dis-ease. That's what disease is. Dis-ease. You're uneasy about what's going on in your body. And it's typically manifested by distinguishing signs or symptoms. So if you have a disease, there's symptoms of disease. If you got COVID, you got symptoms. You got fever. I had COVID. I had fever. All that, like 10 days. Chills. I was messed up, man. But I remember, Hazayan called me up, man. I was like, I'll never forget that as long as I live. Hazayan called me up, and gave me a big spiritual boost. Like, I was just new in the truth. I got a call from the general. I was like, oh, snap. And that really raised my spirit. And then a couple of days later, I'm just, Officer Tabawan called me up. I was in the hospital. He said, Hyman gave the command, right? I said, well, I ain't hearing about no command. He said he commanded that we cannot die. Now, if that don't do something for you, I don't know what kind of person you are. Because that was like, man, I was like, hey, ain't nothing happening to me. That's how I took it. And so, but disease, back to the topic of disease. Disease is discomfort. And it's your bodily functions don't work normally. That's what disease is. And there's signs and symptoms, okay? Which brings us to that good old thing out here called the monkeypox. And I know some of you say, well, how could you say that's a good thing? You know why it's good? It's good because it's a judgment from the Most High. See, with the law, he said you have a choice, good and evil. Good, along with good, is obedience and cleanliness. No disease. And you're going to see that plagues and diseases is part of the punishment or the judgment on earth for disobedience to God. This is what we're going to show you tonight. Monkeypox, right? Monkeypox, like, okay, the Most High sent AIDS on the earth because anything that goes on in the earth, the Most High allows it to happen. If he doesn't want it to happen, it ain't happening. So he allowed AIDS to begin in what they call the gay LGBTQ, the gay community. And I don't know, some of y'all might be too young to remember, but I remember the AIDS epidemic at the fullest, man. People was dropping, man. There's the two sisters that I knew in Harlem that, man, I saw them wither away, man. It was a horrible thing to see, man. I never forget it in a sister that anyway, but it was a sister that I was really close to, and she perished, man. And she died slowly, and she died alone in her apartment. You understand? Horribly, man. Lesions and stuff all over. It was horrible. And she was a beautiful sister at one point. But anyway, so the AIDS epidemic took hold, and it was a warning to that community, although it spread to the heterosexual community as well. But it began as what they used to call it, a gay disease. Now here we are, a generation later, and we have monkeypox, which they refuse to call a gay disease because the advent of the gay community becoming more powerful in the earth, more powerful than they were back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when the AIDS epidemic first hit. Now, but let me give you some facts that was brought out by General Hyman the other night in Black News, Black Watch. And they were having a conversation, and you got the brother there that's reading, and he brought this out. He said, in one report, it has been reported that 95% of monkeypox cases are gay men. 95%, according to one study. Another report stated that of 152 men with monkeypox surveyed, 151 of them were men who had sex with men, gay. So if anybody tried to tell you that this is not a judgment from God on the wickedness of the gay act, you understand? Then you need to think again. You need to come into these classes and learn this truth. You understand? Because as General Hyman said, if you don't point out the wrongdoings of the wrongdoer, he's going to continue to do it. So in the Isupk, we cut it raw. We tell it to you raw so that you can know what it really is. You understand that these things, these plagues and stuff that's going to come upon the earth are judgments, are reactions to the behavior of man. No, all of the COVID, man. You wasn't supposed to be eating them filthy animals. They had those wet markets over there where animals that never came in contact with each other, their dead bodies was put next to each other. I never even heard of a pangolin until then. I ain't lying. I'm an animal lover on TV. I don't love animals in my house or in real life, but I love to watch animal shows. And a pangolin, man, what the hell is that? It looked like a little armadillo. God, sir.
Listen, man, when I first heard the word, I thought people was like mispronouncing penguin. Yeah. They like penguin. I'm like, oh, you talking about a penguin? They're like, no, a pangolin. I'm like, man, y'all know how to say the word, right? And then I look it up on the internet. I'm like, oh, this is an actual damn creature, man. It's crazy.
They were eating bats, man. And then at that time, you could go on Facebook or social media, and you could see people like mocking it, like eating. I saw a woman eating a live octopus. I saw people eating rats, frying rats with a smile on their face, eating bats. They was eating. I saw one report where a guy, y'all know what a Komodo dragon is? A Komodo dragon is one of the most toxic animals on the earth. He bites his prey and waits until the poison from his mouth, the bacteria, weakens the prey. He follows around if it takes him 2 days, and then he eats him. They were eating a Komodo dragon, man, and was paying big money for it. I read the other day when the Komodo dragons, they only occur, I think, on 3 major islands out in the South Pacific, that on one of the islands, they almost extinct. I wonder how that happened. You understand? So these filthy foods that we were eating, that they were eating, Salakia, that they were eating, you understand, which are unlawful foods according to our dietary law. That's how you got COVID, man. And they can't deny it. And they don't even try to deny it. They even trying to force China to admit that the COVID came from there until this day. So we have this monkeypox, and man, did y'all see that picture of that sister? Did you see it, brother? Lord have mercy, man. And then on the show the other night, they brought out a brother who had it in his hand. Yeah, exactly. It was horrible, man. And this is the monkeypox, man. They always blame it on the monkey. When AIDS first came out, if y'all might be too young to remember, when AIDS first came out, they tried to blame it on a green monkey in Africa. No kidding. That's why I said that. Well, I remember that. The green monkey. It got on, which was a lie. You understand? Anything to hide the true behavior that causes it. So they call it the monkey pox. It ain't got nothing to do with the monkey. It's a man. Some man, I don't know, maybe he had sex with the monkey or something. Oh, how did the pox get from a monkey to on a man? If it's monkey pox. And how come it started in what is known as the gay community? How come? I just gave you the proof. It's a gay disease as of right now. But you know how it is. We got these ACDC people who have sex with men and women. And that's how it gets into the so-called heterosexual community. Because you got the ACDC is an old term back in the day. It means bisexual. Like it was two kind of currents. Back in the 60s, they were fighting over which current, AC current or DC current, was going to rule. So thus ACDC. Yeah, it was you know what they were. Yeah, ACDC. So that's Salaki. I just had to explain that because I know that's an old term, you know, because I'm an kind of old guy. I'm 64. And yeah, you got any question, brother, feel free to ask because you're gonna get an answer. You understand? And so ACDC. So these ACDC, these wicked, and I think in some terms, you know, I have more respect for an openly gay person than an ACDC person, man. A person that on the outside appears to be heterosexual, but he's having sex or she's having sex with their own sex as well. And I think it was General Hazayan the other night. He said that he knew a cat in Philly. He knew a sister in Philly that was dealing with this dude, and she said she used to put on a strap on the dude. You understand? And the dude was having relations with men as well as with women, but when he was having a relationship with women, he was getting the strap. Oh my God. So you understand? So these behaviors spread these plagues, man, these diseases, man. It's not magical. You understand? There's nothing magical about it. It's nothing spooky about it. It's the biology. The Most High made human beings an intricate organism. And for that organism to function correctly, it had to have certain nutrients and certain foods and other things it didn't need to have. That's why we have the dietary law. Come on with it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
And when he says he creates evil, that means the evil that you do, the punishment is the evil. The ramifications is the evil. That's the evil. You understand? Of what we do. So there's some more science for you in the Bible. For those of y'all who say there's nothing scientific in the Bible. Even atoms and molecules is in the Bible, y'all. You understand? So, with that being said, we're going to get into, you know, the topic tonight. Let's start with Genesis 18:4. We're going to start here because this is one of the first instances of plagues and punishment to come on the earth. And remember, calamity is part of the definition of a plague. You understand? So the Most High gave this law to us to obey and to live good. You understand? Life and good, evil and death. I don't think it get more simpler than that. Life and good. This law is life and good, and not to obey the law is evil and death. That's what it is. Read.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 4. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched and wash your...
I think it's 19. Yeah, it was a lot. No, I think it's 19. I think 19 and 4. Yeah. You know, we just read this last week. I had to use it.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19 and verse 4. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young,
Hold it right there. Now, what's happening here is that this is when the Most High had put judgment on Lot. I mean, on Sodom and Gomorrah, and he sent 2 angels to go to Lot's house. The men of the city of Sodom was so wicked, and the cities round about, because there was 5 cities in the valley. They saw the angels as new meat. Like if you're in prison and they see a new dude come in and they call him new meat, or a new woman come in, they wanted to have sex with the angels. Right. So this scripture right here is talking about when the angels went to Lot's house, they surrounded the house. Now, this is the funny part. Read it again. This, I never noticed this until this brother read it the other day, and I just started laughing. Read it again, bro.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19 and verse 4. But before they lay down,
before they went to bed at night,
the men of the city, even the men of Sodom,
all of the men, they was gay, and they wanted to have sex with these angels. Read on.
Compassed the house.
They surrounded the house
round, both old.
Read that part again.
Both old.
Old dudes, man. Okay, hey, yo, this is one of the craziest old dudes, man. It says, read it again, young and old.
John, both old and young.
Was trying to get at these 2 brothers, man. This is the wickedness that we talking about, man. Now, that's it on that 4, right? Go to verse 7.
Verse 7. And said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly.
So Lot is like, they done told Lot, yo, we want them 2 dudes, yo. Lot offered them his daughters. And then Lot was like, yo, please don't do all this wickedness, man. This is beyond wickedness, man. Don't do this wickedness. So he's trying to plead with them because he's a righteous man. Go to, that's it on 7, right? Go to verse 11.
Verse 11. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness.
Now, meaning that the men that were surrounding the house, the angels made them blind. That's a disease, a discomfort of the eyes, a disease. See, a plague. You understand? That's what's happening here. Read on.
Salake. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness.
Now check this out. Read on.
Both small and great.
Everybody went blind. All the men that were surrounding the crib went blind because of what they was trying to do. Read on.
So that they wearied themselves to find the door.
Now that's the most amazing part of it. Think about what that means. What that means is even after they were made blind, they still was trying to get at these brothers, man.
Right.
Now I don't know, man, about you, but if that's evil to the core, man. They blind, they still trying to get in the door, man. Ain't that what it said? That's what it says. Read it yourself. Read on.
Verse 12. And the men said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place.
So he's telling Lot, yo, you better get up out of here.
Right.
It's time to go because we about to set this place on fire. That's what they telling Lot in plain language. Read on.
Verse 13. For we will destroy this place because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord.
Meaning that the wickedness that they're doing is horrible to the Lord. Like he's fed up with this place, man.
Right.
He's fed up with this so-called gay lifestyle that they threaten to rape righteous men, man. They couldn't just be satisfied with the gay lifestyle that they already got. They got to go rape some people. You understand? This is the wickedness. This is where we are again in America. We're getting to that point because those people that live that gay lifestyle are becoming more emboldened and are becoming more aggressive.
Salak, if I could,
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you said aggressive, because that spirit of being gay, it is a very aggressive spirit. And it's like the oppressor, of course he's the devil the Bible speaks of, and he's even aggressive with how he pushes it. Like the mere fact that it's forced upon our children to see it in TV shows and this, have to learn about it in school. That is a very aggressive way to make someone okay with a lifestyle. You know, you don't even give them a choice. You're raising them up young to learn that this is okay to be this way. You understand? Like that is aggressive and wicked as hell, man.
Children, I'll be watching these shows, these little shows. I got grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? They be watching these little cartoons, and I see the little subtle gay stuff in there. And I'll be saying, "Damn, how am I going to stop my granddaughter from watching this?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because what the brother just said is very heavy, and it's the worst part of it is that they're trying to make it okay for the children. That's the worst part of it. Because adults, it's a choice for you.
Mm-hmm.
But when a child is what's the word, indoctrinated into it, it's not a choice. It becomes a way of life. You understand? It's not a choice. Just like we thought we were Negroes.
And if I could, that's also how we're able to come up with that, excuse of, oh, this is just me. I was born this way. Like you think you were born this way.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's what it is. You think nah. You weren't born that way. Right. You were coerced into it. Somebody molested you, or you understand? You got groomed into it. Like I saw this video of how they groom these children to be sexually molested and stuff. This is crazy, man. What they do to them, like they set them up, like they get you. It's like a con. It is a con. Like they get the kid to trust them. Then they start doing subtle touching and subtle suggestions and shit. Next thing you know, they bending the kid over, man. And the kid don't know what to do because you done got his trust. And it's a hell of a thing. And these are the things that the ISUP County Commander General Hunter, we standing up, we don't give a damn.
Damn right.
We telling you straight to your face that we hate these acts and we standing up against them. And we speaking out against them because it is wickedness to the highest level. You understand? That's what we're reading about here in the book of Genesis with Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Sodom and Gomorrah was so evil that they got diseases named after them. How about that? Gonorrhea and Sodom, which are diseases as far as I'm concerned. You understand? That's how wicked they were. Did we read 14?
Lot.
Read 14, then we're going to move to the next one.
Verse 14. And Lot went out and spake unto his son-in-laws.
No, that's it. You could drop that. Give me Leviticus 20 and 13. Leviticus 20 and 13. Because we're going to get to this and we're going to let our people know the truth of what's really going on in this earth pertaining according to the Bible, according to the word of the Most High. Thus saith the Lord. You understand? Not what the news want to tell you. They didn't even tell you about the earthquakes. Did anybody hear about all these earthquakes? I was shocked when I looked it up. Something told me to look it up. All you got to do is type in recent earthquakes. That's all you got to do. That's all I did. I didn't do nothing. And they all just came up. And I was shocked that so many had happened in 1 week and we didn't hear nothing about it because they don't want you to know what's going on. They don't want you to know. They want you to think it's still pie in the sky and everything going to be all right. God loves everybody. Everybody's going to come together. We're going to have utopia on the earth. That's a damn lie. God does not love everybody. There's never going to be a utopia on the earth.
Right.
But there's going to be Israel in rulership. That's going to happen. Thus saith the Lord. They don't want you to know what time it is. They want you to be asleep. Baba Kashar, read it if you could.
20 verse 7.
20 and 13, Baba Kashar.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with woman, it's like it with a woman.
Yeah, you know what that is. If a man sleeps with another man, if a man lieth with a man, like, my God, man, you understand? If a man lay down with a man, like if a man have sex with a man, like he have sex with a woman. Read on.
Slug it. Both of them have committed an abomination.
An abomination is a terrible, wicked offense against God. A wicked lie, if it's a word, a wicked deed is an abomination against God. Meaning that is at the highest level of wickedness. That's what an abomination is. You understand? So both of them, the pitcher and the catcher, all of you guys out there who did some of these things and was the pitcher who said that you're not gay, you're a damn liar. You gay just like the catcher. You just as gay as him. Read on.
They shall surely be put to death.
They shall surely, this is the death penalty. Now let's think now. Think about it. AIDS, monkeypox. It'll kill you. It's the death penalty. But we're gonna get into that more a little bit later. Read on. This is the big part right here that I want to bring out. Read on.
Their blood shall be upon them.
Their blood shall be upon them. Now, both of these diseases, you understand, are blood disorders. AIDS is a blood disorder, and so is monkeypox. Monkeypox is more of a flesh disorder, but the flesh, it's carried throughout with the blood, so it's a blood disorder. You understand? AIDS was a blood disorder because it destroyed your ability, your immune system, and its ability to fight off infection and disease. That's what AIDS does to the body. You understand? Acquired immune deficiency. That's what they call it. They came up with a beautiful word for it. You understand? When they, when you see how they co-opt words like aid. Aid is a good thing to aid a brother. Now it's AIDS is a disease. The rainbow, which is the signal or the symbol of God's covenant with man, they didn't turn it into the symbol of the gay community. They took a word like gay, which just simply meant happy. Right. And they made it into a wicked lifestyle. You understand? This is what they do. This is the abomination that's going on in the earth today. They took a word like fierce. Like the word fierce to me was always, it was a masculine word pertaining to warriors and stuff like that. Now they use it as a term for the man who's most openly gay. He's fierce. You understand? This is the corruption, man, that takes place in this earth. And they think for a minute that the Isupk and the Commander General Yohana ain't going to say nothing. You are sorely mistaken. We're going to say something. Every last one of us, we're going to say something.
So like if I could, you know what I'm saying? That what them terms you just brought up, man, that's heavy. And it's like that just show you just how goddamn wicked, you understand, the Christian church is, man. Because, you know what I'm saying, this is why we need leaders in the black communities, because the young ones and the tender ones, you know what I'm saying, the sheep not paying attention to these type of attacks. These are attacks, man. You know what I'm saying? This is warfare going on in the community, and it's right here in our face. We can't even see it, man.
Absolutely. That's an excellent point, because let me tell you why that's an excellent point. What you said about the people don't know the transition. Right. Because in 1973, I was 15 years old, 1973. Up until that year, homosexuality or gay lifestyle was considered a mental illness.
That's right.
And then they changed the rule as they began to get more power, because the 70s was wide open. And then they became, it became not a disease or a social disorder. It became a choice. So now the next generation is growing up thinking that it's a choice. So it goes back to what the brother brought out. What the brother brought out earlier was that they make you think that that you were born that way, because it's not a choice anymore. You understand what I'm saying? It's a natural occurrence. You understand? Whereas up until 1973, you can look it up. Gay lifestyles were considered a mental disorder. It was under President Nixon that the law was changed. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Old Tricky. We used to call him Tricky Dick back in the day. That was his nickname, Tricky Dick. Richard Nixon. He was the president of the United States. He was a wicked bad. He hated black people too.
So like if I could, I'm glad you brought that up, because I got, you know what I'm saying, what you're talking about, right?
Bring it out, bro. Bring it out.
So it says in 1973, the APA removed homosexuality from the list of mental illnesses. You know, it says the American Psychiatric Association made history by issuing a resolution stating that homosexuality or being gay was not a mental illness or sickness.
See? You understand? So, with that being said, what is that scripture? I got it. And this is a scripture that says they frame it. I think it's in the Psalm. They frameth mischief in the law.
I got a quote book if you want to keep looking for it.
Come on, go ahead, read it.
You know what I'm saying? It says the resolution stated, we will no longer insist on a label of sickness for individuals who insist that they are well and demonstrate no generalized impairment in social effectiveness. So the statement continued to say the APA supports civil rights legislation at local, state, and federal levels that would ensure being gay citizens the same protections now guaranteed to others. You know what I'm saying? Which of course is a damn lie because people in the alphabet group have 100% more protection than any person who's just black in America, man. You know what I'm saying? They protected by the damn government. You can't even speak ill against them in no type of way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? But a brother can still get gunned down and shot in the street, and it's completely normal, man.
I can't find the scripture. It says that they frameth mischief in a law.
Oh, okay, I get you.
That's the last part of the scripture. Damn, I knew that scripture too. But this is what he's talking about. This scripture, because when President Obama made gay lifestyles legal and gave marriage legal just a few years ago, you understand, they framed the mischief or the wickedness of it by law. That's it. I do got it. Yeah, I do got it. We hold off on that. We're gonna read it a little later, but we got that. I do got it right here. Okay, Salakia for that. Their blood shall be upon them, meaning that they're responsible for what happens to themselves.
That's right.
They're responsible. There's nobody responsible. Ain't nobody did nothing to them. They did it to themselves. And their blood upon them, their blood is literally upon them because their blood is now diseased. You understand? These are the scriptures. This is the truth, man. I don't know why everybody want to try to deny it. I don't see it. Let's go to Exodus 9, chapter 9, verses 14 through 16. Now we're going to get into some more. I'm going to have to start moving quickly because when I'm having fun, the time be flying. Time check 808. Okay. We can get most of these in.
Exodus chapter 9, what verse?
14 through 16.
So you come for a reader?
Sit up front there, brother. Thank you, brother. We appreciate that, man. That you coming in and participate. We love that. Yes, Exodus 9 and 14, if you could, please.
So right, Exodus chapter 9, verse 14.
Right, speak a little louder into the mic.
For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people.
So now he's talking about he's going to send plagues. So what we're pointing out here is that plagues are what's the word I'm looking for? A reaction or a condition of wicked acts on the earth. He sends plagues because of what you do. Plagues come from your behavior, your conscious behavior that is wicked brings these plagues upon you, man. Read on.
That thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth.
See, that's important. See, he sends plagues so that you know that is him doing it to you. That he sends the plagues on you for your behavior. And this is what's happening today. This is why I pointed out that out of 152 people surveyed with monkeypox in this particular report, that 151 of them were men who had sex with men or gay. So that the Most High will let you know that he send these things on you, man. Read on, brother.
Exodus verse 15. For now I will stretch out my hand that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence.
Pestilence. What is pestilence? Pestilence is pests, rats, bugs, locusts, grasshoppers, pestilence, diseases. You understand? Any kind of like bug or anything like that. You understand? It's pestilence. You understand? Things that bother you, that make you uncomfortable. That's pestilence. You understand? So pestilence, monkeypox is pestilence. That's why I gave the definition of plague and disease at the beginning, to show you that there's a lot of definition of these things. It's not just one thing. You understand? And we have to understand every aspect of it in order to be clear as to what's going on. And this is what we do in Isupk. We have to study to show ourselves approved, man. We don't come in here and just read scriptures and think we know something. It takes years before you even allowed to come up and sit up here and teach a class. You understand? For the most part. You know what I'm saying? Read on, brother.
And thou shalt be cut off from the earth.
Meaning that when you're cut off from the earth, what does that mean? You dead.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You dead. So that was verse 14.
15.
Read 16, and then we're gonna move on.
Verse 16. And in very deed for this cause have I raised
Read
thee
that
up.
first part again.
And in very deed for
And
this
the very
cause.
deed, for this reason, for what you've done. A deed is a deed, something that you do.
Mm-hmm.
For what you've done, for this deed that you've done, read on.
I have raised thee up for to shew in thee my power.
I put this disease on you to show my power in the earth. That's what he's saying. To show you that he's in power, that he's in control, and that he does this to you because you're a wicked bastard. That's why. That's why these diseases and all of this stuff is coming on the earth. Look at the Israelites. We're the head of almost every major disease category because he gave us the right food to eat. He told us what to eat. He told us what not to eat. And so we went against him, and thus we're highest diabetes, whatever disease, heart disease, whatever disease you can imagine. AIDS, we're number one because he gave you the law, Israel. He told you first. He told you what not to eat. So that's why you can eat all of these things and be sick while other people eat them and they don't get sick. You understand? So he could show his power on the earth. He did the same thing to the Egyptians. He raised the Egyptians up so that he could show his power, that his name would be pronounced throughout the earth. It's the same thing that's going to happen in America. America is raised up in great power, and what does America have to do with Egypt? They have the Israelites in bondage. You understand? They're the oppressor. You understand? They're the idol worshipers, just like Egypt was. You understand? They have the Israelites in captivity. They don't give a damn what the Most High say. They do what the hell they want. Whatever sexual deviancy they want to do, they put it in the law and make it legal. Now, who's going to challenge them? You understand? He's going to show his power on you too, America, as it is written. Read on, brother.
And that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
Brothers and sisters, when the Most High in Christ gets finished with this place, I promise you this, that the name of the Most High shall never, ever again be forgotten in the earth. I guarantee you it. You understand? Just wait. So we call upon our people to repent, man, and to come out of all of these wicked lifestyles, man, and come into the Isupk under Commanding General Yohana and be protected, because the Most High said the people that follow him will be protected in these days, man. I need that protection. I don't know about you, but I need that protection. I want it. You understand? I come into the Isupk and I do my job because I need that protection. I need protection for them. The Most High is a terrible God, man. He will kill you, man. The brother just brought it out, man. He will kill you, man. Nations, he'll wipe you out. You understand? He's going to do that. But we in the Isupk, man, we fear God. I'm afraid. I'm terribly afraid. I'm more afraid of God than I am of the LGBTQ. You understand? I'm way more afraid. I ain't afraid of them at all. I love talking about them because they so wicked. You understand? But the Most High is a terrible power. And we should fear him. And we should hate the things that he hates, man. That's what it's about. Is any more on that? Okay, give me you got the Apocrypha in that book? You familiar with the Apocrypha?
Mm-mm.
Okay, the Apocrypha, real quickly, is 14 books that in 1611, when King James had the Bible translated from Hebrew and Greek into English, in 1692, they had those 14 books removed. The Catholic Church had it. But these books are part of the Bible. They was part of this, and this is what we're going to read from now here, okay? If you do this because give me 2nd Ezra 15 and 49. See, the Catholic Church, while he finds that the Catholic Church is behind all of this, you understand? They were wicked, and they didn't want, because the Apocrypha, there's so many good truths. The Apocrypha is an amazing book, and they had those 14 books. The original King James Bible of 1611 had 80 books. The present King James Bible, this one right here, got 66. Those 14 are the ones that they took out in 1692 because they didn't want you to know these things that's in there. And brother, in that book right there, that extension of the Bible, that part of the Bible, is some amazing facts. It even tells you straight up that Esau is the end of this world and Jacob is the beginning of that which follows. Meaning that when the white man's time is up, we rule. Now, 15 and 19. 15 and 49, Baba Shah. That just means please.
I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood.
I will send plagues upon you. That's the theme tonight. He's sending plagues. And if you read this whole chapter, you'll see that because of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. That's why he sends the plague. Read on.
Widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence.
Pestilence again.
To waste thy houses with destruction.
To waste thine houses with destruction. To destroy you, man. When a person with AIDS or monkeypox come into the house and touch other people, the whole house is destroyed because they're infected. This is the pestilence. This is the disease that the Most High sends on the earth because of the wickedness that is being conducted here on the earth. This is what it is. You understand? Now go to next, turn the page, chapter 16 and verse 14.
Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
So what this is saying is that he sent these plagues before, and they're not going to return until a certain time. A certain time, these plagues is going to come up on the earth. This is the time. This is why we know the signs of the last day, because the plagues are going to come back on the earth at a certain time, because all of these wickedness, if you read the scriptures, different nations had different types of wickedness, like Egypt, idolatry, you understand, a little homosexuality. These were the kind of things that was going on in Egypt. Pride. They wanted to be adverse from all the other nations. You know, build great monuments, Egypt. Then you had Rome, the conqueror. Then you had Sodom and Gomorrah, the sexual deviant. Well, this kingdom is all of them combined together. That's why. You understand? That's why all of the plagues are coming back on the earth again. You understand? These plagues are coming back at a certain time. And this is the time. And we're going to prove it. You understand? This is the time that they're coming back upon the earth. You understand? We haven't seen all of these plagues before. There's nothing new under the sun. They probably was here before. You dig? But we never seen them in these last few hundred years. All these things just coming back. You understand? This is the Most High, man. This is the time, man. This is the time that we're in. And we have to understand this. This is the time that we're in, man. We're in the last days. And stop playing around. This is serious business. We ain't got no time to play around. I mean, you can enjoy life. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you better get serious about your soul and your spirit, man. And give your spirit unto God, unto the Most High, instead of giving it to this wicked kingdom who only wants to destroy you and use you like a battery in the matrix, man, as a source of energy and finance, man. That's all you are to them, nothing more. They will never love you. And we will never love them. Okay, give me Psalm chapter 12 and verse 8. This wickedness Sometimes it makes. I'm gonna tell you, man. I don't mind, man. I'm a man. Sometimes I be sitting up here watching some of this stuff. Sometimes I want to cry, man. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, tears almost come to my eye because some of the wickedness I heard, man. And two of the things I want to bring out real quick is two of the things I'm never going to forget is that one is that those two, that husband and wife down, I think it was in Texas or Oklahoma somewhere that put the sperm in the baby's cupcakes. You didn't hear about that? Oh my Lord, that's number one. And then the other thing was when we was having a class here, and the general brought out that what is it? What is a woman? What is a woman? Remember that? And they said that they were measuring the orgasm of the 5-month-old babies, man. I hope to God that I never forget those things, man. Because see, those are the kind of things that shows you that I know my people. I know my people. Our people in a million years, we wouldn't have thought of doing that, putting sperm in little babies' cupcakes, man. Nah, that ain't in us, man. And for somebody, who in the hell, I was so amazed, like, I think it was either Captain Mashak or our Captain Nathak that brought it up in the class. I was like amazed, man. I called Cap that night because I couldn't believe I had to ask Cap, like, yo, Cap, what the hell is this? Like, how the hell you measure, an orgasm of a 5-month-old baby, man? How? Who would ever even think that a 5-month-old baby, and this is a survey, this is not this is some information that was brought out that was documented. Matter of fact, the guy who did the experiments, he became head of sexual education in America. And they did a movie about him where Liam, what's that dude? Liam Nelson, who he hates black people. He played him in the movie. Liam Nielsen, him. And he was an educator. I saw the movie come on TV, but I never watched it because I never liked him. And when I found out he hate black people, I hate him too. That's it. But he played the guy, and he became an educator. But he's doing experiments on little babies, 5 months old, 11 months old, and children, measuring their. Man, come on, man. I didn't even know a baby. Can a 5-month-old have an orgasm? That shit is madness, man. Salakia. So I just bring those things out to show you. We pointing out all of this wickedness that's going on and the height of the wickedness. And the Most High says in the scriptures that he's going to let the wickedness grow like wheat. And when it reaches height, he's going to reap it, going to cut it down. And I don't know how much further we got to go to see the height of the wickedness. I think we about there. But I keep saying that, and they keep surprising me. You understand? Oh, you got that? Reach under heaven, man. And heaven is far. You understand? So now, the heaven, we talking about the heaven where the Most High dwells. Now, we had Psalm 12 and 8. You got that?
Yes, sir.
Read it.
Psalm 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
Now, let me break that down. Wickedness walks on all sides, I mean it's everywhere. Everywhere you turn, wickedness is there. When the vilest, vile meaning filthy, dirty, nasty, unclean. The vilest of men are exalted, meaning the vilest of men are now in power. Trump, Biden, these are wicked men, man. You understand? And these men are in power. A lot of these men that you think are men are undercover gay people. They run America. They run Hollywood. They run the music industry. They run the banking industry. A brother in New York, I'm from New York, I've been down here a few years. Brother told me that a black man can't get a job on Wall Street unless he's gay. That's what I was told. I believe it too. Because if you look at the news, all of the black newscasters, out of 10 of them, 9.5 or 8 of them, 8.5, 9 of them is gay with a bald head. Check out the news, man. Just all you gotta do is turn it different. I check out all the news stations. And brother, CNN, CNBC, all of them. New York 1, North Carolina, WRL 1, all of them. They got a gay brother in there. You understand?
I had a question. I want to touch base on what you had just mentioned. In the black community, when you talk about artists or music in the industry, I feel like the black males that represent us um, in this community that we're from, like you said, they're exalted and the vilest of men. You know, the preaching about having multiple mother children, drugging women to have sex with them, shooting each other. You know, I just want to, I see that in that verse right there, as well as what you mentioned.
That's absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct, bro. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? That's an avenue for you. You understand what I'm saying? You saw that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? That came from you. Because when we see this truth, we see the truth. We read it. When you was a kid, right, they told you the sky was blue,
Mm-hmm.
apples was red, trees was wood, grass was green. And you went outside and you said, well, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's the same thing with these scriptures.
Damn right. That's
It's the
right.
same thing.
That's right.
We read this and we see it. That's what we're talking about. That's why we call it a school. All of the prophets had schools.
Mm-hmm.
Read Jeremiah. Read what's the brother? Nehemiah. Read all of them. Paul. What did Christ tell him? Set up 7 churches, 7 schools. A church is not a church like we call it today. A church is a school. The church is actually the congregation.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Schools. People wasn't taught to go to church and jump up and down and sing. They was taught these scriptures and the truth, man. In schools, man. The priests were taught, and then they would go and teach the people just like we do in the Isupk today. Ain't no difference. Ain't no difference. Everything that the Lord does is consistent, and it doesn't change, ever. So you're absolutely right, man. And these brothers is the ones that they're using to affect our young people, like this brother brought out. These are the brothers that they're using to affect our young people, man, to destroy our young people.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody tries to destroy your children, isn't that a reason to go to war?
That's right.
Very much so.
What better reason to go to war? Well, our warfare is a spiritual warfare. We're not allowed to pick up any arms. We never threaten. We never harm anybody, but we will defend ourselves. We will defend ourselves, but we are not going to commit any crimes. You know why? We don't have to. The Most High is going to do such damage to this world and to this kingdom that it's going to be forgotten off the face of the earth. That people are not going. There's going to come a time where America is not even going to be in remembrance. You understand? Read on. Is that it on that? When the vilest men are exalted, man. This is, brother, what you brought up was really good, brother. I'm going to tell you, man, because that's an aspect where the younger people could see. Because that's what y'all deal with more. I don't even, like, I grew up with rap. When rap came out, I was a kid. You understand? I grew up, I actually know some of the early rappers, like Melly Mel and them. You understand? So, but the Crash Crew and them type of people, right? But now, like, rap is so foreign from me, I don't know what's going on. I be listening to them and trying to find, they be talking about this guy and this guy, he's fired. I'm like, who the hell is that?
Right.
I don't know. I'm disconnected, mostly because of my age, right? But the old rap I love. Rap is a wonderful art form, brother. It's ours. We invented it. You understand? If you read the scriptures, like when we used to go to war to hype each other up, they used to do the rap, man. We gonna do this to them niggas. We gonna do that.
Right.
You understand? We this, we that. And then they would go do it. As long as the Most High was with them. If the Most High wasn't with us, we'd be running 7 ways from the enemy. That's the truth. You understand? So now let's go to 2 the Thessalonians, Salakia. In the New Testament, Thessalonians. Just take your time, brother. Look in the front. They'll have a table of contents. Because we're bringing out these wicked deeds that's being done in this earth, and we're trying to understand or make our people understand or cause our people to understand why these things are happening. And it's directly coming from the behavior and the deviance of human beings against their brothers and the oppression that they put upon God's chosen people and the harm that they intend for us. The Most High told us exactly what you're trying to do to us, and we know what it is. You're trying to make us be no more in remembrance, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. You want us to forget who we are, but it ain't happening, Captain. It ain't happening. You understand? You think you're going to wipe out the remembrance of Israel when it's you devil, that's going to be wiped out of remembrance. For whatever you do unto us is going to be done unto you. Thus saith the Lord. That's 2 Thessalonians. Take your time. You know, it should be right after Colossians, and you got it? Okay. So we're going to do 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and we're going to read verses 3 and 4. Okay? 8:32. Okay, we can get a couple more in.
This is come from 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Hold on. Let no man deceive you by any means, meaning by in no kind of way. Don't let nobody fool you from this truth or deceive you concerning this truth. Read on. Until.
And that man of sin be revealed.
Meaning that don't let nobody fool you concerning what's going on in this earth until the man of sin, the wicked one, the devil that the Bible speaks of, who is the oppressor. He's the devil. The devil, the word devil comes from the Greek and Latin word diablo, which means deceiver. That's what it means. It doesn't mean some mystical being under the ground with a red tail and a pitchfork who whispers wickedness in your ear and you obey him. That is a farce. That's something that the oppressor made up. The devil walks the earth, and we prove it every day in the scripture. A deceiver is a person that deceives others. He is the great deceiver. He has deceived the whole earth, man, into believing that he's God. And we're going to read it right now. Read.
The son of perdition.
Thessalonians.
4.
No, chapter 2, verse 3.
That was the end of it.
Oh, the son of perdition.
Yeah, son of perdition.
Okay, read verse 4. The son of perdition. Perdition is the condition of hell.
Mm-hmm.
We're in hell right now. It's a condition. Perdition is a condition, like right before hell. Like, you know, it's entering into hell. Perdition.
Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
Hold it right there. Who opposeth, he's opposite or in opposition to God. You understand? And read from that point.
And exalteth himself above all that is called God.
All that is called God. Everything that is good, everything that is righteous, he puts himself above it. He makes wickedness good. He opposes and exalted everything that's wicked above God, making this is law. This what you say, God, is nothing. What I say is what's going down here on this earth. That's what it's talking about. And this is the oppressor. He's the devil, man. Do not be deceived. That's what it's saying. Tell the man of perdition, the man of sin is the devil. The great deceiver, who is the oppressor, man. That's who he is. You can read about him in Isaiah 14. You can read about him all over the Bible. Read on, brother.
Or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God.
See, he sitteth in the temple of God, Jerusalem. He's sitting in Jerusalem right now, saying that he's us. And he opposes everything that is God, and he has the world thinking that he's God. Right. He is the arch deceiver. Christ and the Most High is black. That's right. According to the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't making it up. It's right there. But they have confused the earth into thinking that they're God themselves. Read that last part again.
That sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Showing himself that he is God. They believe that this homosexual, Cesar Borgia, is the image of God. And that the white man is God. The oppressor is God. This is the deception of the earth. This is how they deceive the earth and come into power by this image right here. You understand? The scriptures tell the whole story completely. That's it on that?
Yes, sir.
Let me go to a couple of pages over. 2 Timothy. No, you passed it. It's not that far over. 2 Timothy. It should be right behind Thessalonians. You got it?
Yes, sir.
2 Timothy 3, chapter 3, verses 1 through 4. We're going to read.
All right. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 3.
Yeah, no, start at verse 1.
Verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous time shall come.
Speak louder into the mic if you could. But this means perilous times perilous is dangerous. Extreme danger is peril. Meaning like imminent death and destruction. That's peril. So in these days, it's going to be perilous time, dangerous time. That's the time we're in now. All of these scriptures that we're pointing to and that we're bringing out today is pertaining to today. Everything. Read on.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
You see? Lovers of their own selves. I'm the greatest. I'm this. I'm that. Why you think the rappers keep killing each other? Because one think he's greater than the other. Or one is jealous of the other. Lovers of self. Don't love their brother at all. For a small violation, they will kill their brother. That's what it's talking about, in part. Read on.
Covetous.
Covetous means they want everything they see. Covetous means a desire to want something. That's what that means. That's what everybody wants. They want the best shoes. They want the gold. They want to have sex with everybody's woman and talk about it on the rap. They want the best drugs. They want everything. They want the best car, the best house. That's covetousness. Okay, read on.
Their own, boasters, proud, blasphemers.
Proud, Pride Month. Proud. They're proud of their wickedness. They show pride in their wickedness. Read on.
Disobedient to
Disobedience to their parents. They don't care what their parents told them. They're going to do what they want to do, man. Hell with my mom, man. I don't even know my dad. The hell with him, too. Do what the hell I want. I make this money. You understand? This is we using like in terms of dealing with like the music industry, but this is the whole nation, the whole structure of this kingdom, the whole mindset, the spirit of this kingdom. That's what it's talking about. Read on.
Unthankful, unholy,
Ungrateful,
without
unholy. You know what that means? Holy just means separate. Unholy means they're not separate. They're joining in on everything. You understand? Every religion, every ideology, every sexual deviancy, every drug, you know what I'm saying? Everything. That's unholy, not separate. You understand? Read on.
Verse 3. Without natural affection.
Without natural affection. So natural affection. Okay, I got a wife. I have affection for my wife. That's natural. I have children. I have affection for my my grandchildren. My God, I got affection for them. But is it natural for two men to have sexual affection for one another? That's unnatural. Is it natural for two women to be licking on each other? That's unnatural affection. That's what it's talking about. Read on.
Truce breakers, false accusers.
Meaning that if they make an agreement with you, they're not going to keep the agreement. That's America, top to bottom. You understand? They made agreement with Iran on the I'm just using this example for the nuclear. Trump came in there and broke the agreement. Now the whole Middle East is in an uproar. Don't trust America. He didn't think about that. He just thought about what he wanted to do. That's what he's talking about, truce breakers. They made over 400 treaties with the Native Indians. They never kept not even one. Not one. Not one. Not one. Every treaty that they made with the Native Indians, they broke. Read on.
Incontent, fierce,
Incontinent. Meaning
incontinent.
they can't control their bodily functions. That's what incontinence means.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're incontinent, you can't control your urination and your defecation and other bodily functions, meaning that they out of control, man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Read on.
Fierce,
Fierce. There go that word again.
despisers of those that are good.
They hate the Isupk because we tell the truth. They hate you for being good, but they hated Christ first.
Mm-hmm.
They hated Christ before they hated us. You understand? Haters of that which is good. They hate what's right in the earth, man. They hate what's good for the children, man. They want to show the children. They want to sit up there. They had in Raleigh. They had the day when the drag queens would sit. What the hell with the children?
Mm.
I even seen a video of it, man. And I saw the video. The little brother kicked the drag queen and ran. Did you see that? I was on the floor. The little brother pro. The drag queen was talking to her. He kicked him in the leg and ran. The next time I get it, it's gonna come up again. I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna bring it in. I love that. Anyway, read on, brother.
Verse 4. Traitors, heady, high-minded,
Petty.
Mm.
Petty. Any little slight, you're homophobic. If you say something to them, I'm just using that particular community, you understand, because we was talking about monkeypox and AIDS and stuff like that. And this is the cause of major pestilence and disease and plague on the earth. That's why I'm focusing on that. But that's pettiness, man. You understand? That's petty. Any small slight, they want to have a war. They'll destroy your life. If you say something against the LGBTQ community, they try to destroy your life. That's what it's talking about, petty. Read on.
high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
Lovers of pleasure. They love to have that deviancy more than they care about what God says. They love that deviancy, but they don't care what the Most High put down. They will. They will. Trust and believe. That's it on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me Hebrews 12 and 16. Time check. Okay. We try to get a couple of more in, and I'm going to end with the now I got like 10 more, but I ain't gonna have time for them. So we got 3 more that I really want to do, and then we should be able to get those in. We're going to Galatians. You help the brother out.
Hebrews chapter.
Yeah, Hebrews 12 and 16.
Got you. Right here. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or
Yeah, after this, we're going to Galatians 5 and 19. Okay, hold on. Go ahead, sir.
or profane person.
Started from the top. Speak loudly into the mic.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
Stop right to Esau. Now, what this is saying is that Esau, who is the father of the so-called oppressor, he's the father, he's the progenitor of the white man. He's the only baby in the Bible that they give you a physical description of him when he's born. They don't even give you a physical description of Christ when he's born. But this man, they give you a physical description of him because he was different at birth from everybody else. He was born with red, hairy. He was born red and hairy all over like a hairy garment. And he's the wicked of the earth. Okay, that's what the Bible tells us. And it says that he's the most profane, meaning that he's the most filthiest. To be profane is to be filthy. Profanity. And fornication is unlawful sex or deviancy. So he's the greatest and the most profane and wickedly fornicating person on the earth, the so-called oppressor. That's what it's talking about. Read it again from the top.
Verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
So see that, think of in terms of spiritualness, right? Okay, you and I are brothers, right? I'm the oldest brother. I'm Esau because Esau was the oldest brother. So I come in one day to your house and I'm a hunter and a killer and I didn't catch no food. So I come into your house and I say, hey, brother Jacob, hey man, I didn't catch nothing to eat today, man. Could I have some of your food that you cooking in that pot over there? Smell kind of good. And then he says to you, you say to me, hey man, sell me your birthright. You know, meaning that the oldest is supposed to get the bulk of the inheritance. But he's so wicked, he didn't even care for it. You understand what I'm saying? He sold it for a morsel of meat, uncooked meat, according to the Bible. He sold his birthright to his brother, then cried like a bitch. Then cried like a bitch about it later on. You understand? This is Esau. You understand? This is why I brought this scripture out so we could know, you understand? All of this stems from him. He's the one, you understand, that makes these laws and makes these rules. And he gets our shepherds, our leaders, you understand, to betray us and to support these things. Thus, we're oppressed. You understand? Okay, read on.
Verse 17.
No, that's it on that. Baba Kashar, Galatians 5:19. You get me Psalms 94 and 20. We're going to do 2 in Galatians, then we're going to go to Psalm 94 and verse 20.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest.
The works of the flesh, meaning the things that are of the flesh, the carnal things, the things that we want to satisfy our bodies with, the things of the flesh are now manifest. Monkeypox. The behavior of the flesh, the desire for gay sex is manifested or revealed. Manifest means revealed in monkeypox. That's what we're talking about here. That's just one example, but that's an example that I can explain it and break it down in quite simply. Read on. The manifest, the works of the flesh are manifest.
Which are these? Adultery.
Hey, we talking about the rappers. They brag about sleeping with other brother women. They'll sleep in, man, you blink your eye, they be in there banging your woman, man. And talk about it. Yo. I just hit homeboy girl, man. She was hollering, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. Read on, brother. Baba Kashar.
Fornication,
unlawful sex. Homosexual sex gay sex is unlawful. It's unlawful. Incest is unlawful. Bestiality is unlawful. Pedophilia is unlawful.
That's right.
That's what it's talking about. Read on. All of these things are occurring in this country at an alarming rate. Read on.
Uncleanness,
man. Hey, 2 men sleeping together is filthy as hell. It disgusts me just thinking about it, man. Read on.
lasciviousness.
That's wicked and dirty and filthy, lewd acts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to describe lasciviousness, but it's filthy acts.
I can read the definition for you.
If you could, Baba Kashar.
It says lasciviousness. It said feeling or revealing an overt sexual interest or desire.
Adverse, meaning something that ain't right.
It says lasciviousness behavior is sexual behavior or conduct that is considered crude and offensive or contrary to local moral or other standards of appropriate behavior.
See, that's what it's talking about. This is America, man. This is America, and we see it on TV now. We see 2 brothers, man. I hate that commercial when them 2 brothers be kissing.
Oh my goodness!
I get married every time I turn the channel. You know, 2 brothers tonguing him down, man. I'm like, get out of here, man. But,
crazy.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you, those 2 men that are kissing on that commercial for that drug that prevents you from spreading AIDS, according to them, which is probably a lie. It wasn't no accident that they put 2 brothers up there. That was on purpose. That was the first time that I seen 2 men openly kiss each other like that on a commercial in my life. It was those 2 men. And if anybody's seen it before that, please tell me. That's the first time I seen 2 men kiss like that. Okay. Where we at? Is that it on that?
Yeah.
Okay, give me Galatians. Hold what you got. Give me Galatians 6, chapter 6, verse 7 and 8.
I have Psalm 94, verse
Yeah,
20.
Hold that. We're going to do that one next.
This the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked.
God is not mocked, meaning that, okay, they having fun on this earth. They doing what the hell they want. Ha, ha, ha. We can do this. You ain't did nothing to us. We ain't get punished, although they got monkeypox. You understand? But they don't see that coming from God. They don't see that as a judgment. They've seen that as a misfortune. You understand? They mocking God, but God is not mocked, meaning that you're going to pay.
Right.
You're going to pay for this. God is not mocked, man. God is going to bring, this is my word. I got this word from the army when I was back in the 70s. Scunion. It's a real word. God is going to bring scunion. This is mass destruction on the earth because of these wicked acts. Read on.
Salak, it says, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
So if you plant wickedness and you plant sexual deviancy, then you're going to reap the consequences of that. And that's every man. You understand? If you reap or sow this deceit, you're going to reap the benefits or the consequences of that deceit. That's every man. I can attest to that from my life experience. Like a lot of things that I did as that other person, people just say, yo, you shouldn't have done that, or you think you got away with that. No, I didn't get away with nothing. Trust and believe. All that stuff I thought I was getting over with, and this shit came back to bite me.
Right.
Because this is the truth. It don't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are, man. Whatever you put out, that's what you're going to get back in this life. It might not come around quickly, but it's coming. That's what it's talking about. Read on.
Verse 8.
No, that's okay. Verse 8. Come.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
See? There it is. See that? If you do wickedness with your flesh, then your flesh is going to suffer. Monkeypox, AIDS, you understand? Drug abuse. All of these things are corruption of the flesh, and it shows on your flesh.
That's right.
These scriptures know the Most High is infinitely wise, beyond anything that we can imagine, that he foresaw all of these things thousands of years ago. He said that he knew us before we was even born.
That's right.
Okay. Because he made us. He's the potter and we're the clay. Okay, you're going to take this clay, you're going to make a cup. You know the cup before it's even finished.
Right.
You know how you want the cup to look before you finish. That's what it's talking about. That's the Most High. You understand? He gets the glory. Read on.
But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
See? But if you please the Spirit, see, the spirit of a man only seeks to do right. That's the part of us that's God. That's the part of us that obeys God. Our flesh, we just want to satisfy that flesh. We just want to sniff that coke, smoke that weed, have sex with that woman, and say feel good. That's what we want. That's what the flesh wants. But the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, it is called, wants to please God and wants to do what God says. That's the difference. That's the difference. Our spirit, that's why our warfare is spiritual. We're not trying to physically fight anybody, but spiritually we fight everybody. We don't give a damn. We in it. We ready to rumble spiritually with anybody on the face of the earth. I ask you to carry the command and give honor because the truth is going to win out, regardless. Whoever's lying is going to lose ultimately. But he who's telling the truth in the spirit of the Most High in Christ, according to the Most High in Christ, is going to be victorious at the end. That's it. Any more on that?
That's
Okay, so give me what you got. I like this one right here. Because this is like when the Most High asks Israel questions, I always think of the most, these are the kind of, Yeah, it's poetic because when he asks Israel questions, right, it makes me think that he has a sense of humor, but it's serious at the same time. Read.
Psalm 94, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
See that? See? He's talking to the Israelites, man. This is King David. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? Shall the rulers of wickedness be your homeboy? Shall the rulers of wickedness be your man, your friend? Should you have fellowship with these wicked bastards? That's the question. Shall, read it again. Read it loud.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Hell no. But this is it right here. Read the last part.
Which frameth mischief by a law.
They put the wickedness or the wicked conduct is made legal in the law. That's what it's talking about. You understand? That's America. You understand? Hey, the Asians got a hate bill in a couple of weeks. They got a few of them got beat up and attacked, and they went to the Congress and they got a anti-Asian hate bill within 2 weeks. Am I lying? We've been suffering and beat down for over 400 years, and they haven't made not one anti-hate black bill yet. Because the mischief is framed in the law, meaning that it's not okay to attack Asians, but it's okay to kill them niggas over there.
Hell, if I could. Do you want more?
You remember the damn Palestinians were over here marching, talking about some free Palestine.
We was in the camp downtown. Go ahead, bro.
We in a goddamn America, man. We over here in America, and you got so-called oppressors. You got black people joining the march of the damn Palestinians, talking about some free Palestine. While Negro, you over here a damn slave. When the hell you gonna get freed? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
We
that's
witnessed
crazy.
this. We was at camp on a Saturday, and that whole parade came past us. And there's black people walking down the street with the Palestinians. Like, and they don't give a damn what we're saying. Like, they're more concerned about them than us. That's why we have Isupk. You know, I always say this, brother. Like, one of the greatest things that I learned when I first came in, one of the most satisfying things that I learned when I came in, was that I did not have to love those other nations.
Damn right.
That was a fucking burden lift. Oh, it's like I keep touching you. It's gonna get me for this. That was a burden lifted off of me, man. Because in the Christian church, we're taught to love everybody.
Right.
God loves everybody. No, God does not love. No. And I don't have to love everybody. We don't love everybody. We love blacks, Hispanics, and everybody. I don't love nobody else. I don't care who they are. If you're not black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, I don't love you. I ain't got no love for it. I need to catch up in loving my people. I'm still learning how to love my brothers, man.
Right.
How the hell I'm gonna go out here and try to love somebody else? I don't even know how to completely love my brother yet, man. It's madness, man.
it's like if I could, and it's like for people who do love everybody or claim they do, how can you be strong in loving every goddamn thing?
That's a hell of a question. I don't have that.
You know what I mean? It don't even make sense, man.
Yo, what time is it? We gotta end with this one. Okay. We're gonna end with this one. I had two more, but this is the last one. Absolutely, we're gonna chop it up. Give me 1 John 2:16. 1 John 2:16, and this is it. Because the Lord has sent these plagues and diseases upon the earth because of the behavior of human beings on the earth, and for the wickedness that they've done to God's chosen people. And he's going to get revenge on you for what you've done to the earth and to his chosen people. You polluted the earth. You understand what I'm saying? You have lied and fooled the earth, and you think that there's no consequences coming to you. That's the amazing part of the oppressor. He thinks that he is not going to be held accountable at some point. You understand? Because he thinks that he opposes God, and he sets himself up as if he is God. That's we're going to 1 John. That's in the New Testament, right about 3 chapters before Revelation. 1 John. Find the glossary and find it. Oh, it's ripped out. Let him find it. 1 John 2:16.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
All of this madness that's going on earth is summed up in this verse right here. Like all this wickedness that goes on, drug addiction, prostitution, politics, I don't care what it is. Because a politician, he lusts for power and control. Politics is about who controls resources. That's what it's about. So the persons that want to get into politics want to control resources and money. You understand? That's a lust. So what is it saying here? For all that is in the world, lust of the flesh, and the lust of what you see, the lust of the eyes is what you see. All of that, that's a summation of all of the wickedness that goes on in the world is from the lust that we have, that we want to satisfy our flesh. That's what lust is. That's the beginning of sin. You understand? Is to always want to satisfy your flesh. That's why America is called Sodom and Gomorrah and Babylon. You understand? And it says, the pride of life and the pride of life, the pride, see that word? The pride of doing wickedness, the pride of doing things that are not of God is not, the pride of life is not of the Father. It's not from the Most High. The Most High gave us law to nurture our spirits, man, and righteousness. It gives you a guideline of conduct and how to conduct yourself and how to treat your brother and your sister and your wife and your son and your daughter, your neighbor and the heathen. All of that is in the law. And those are the things that we're supposed to build upon with brotherhood. That's how the Most High wants us to live. Brotherhood is going to rule the earth. Brotherhood is a weapon. That's one of our mottos. Brotherhood is literally going to rule the earth. But you know what that brotherhood is? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're going to rule this earth. We're going to rule it under Christ. Christ is the king. We're going to rule it under him. We're going to rule it in righteousness and with an iron rod, meaning that we ain't taking no short.
That's right.
Like these other nations, we're going to get them in line. You understand? Under Christ. With that, I'll pass the class over to Peace and Officer Mahayama. Clap it up. Yeah, but you live in the area?
Yeah, I'm from down.
You know, we got classes